You can scroll past most things online, but not these videos. These strange, mysterious, yet undeniably real moments were captured when people least expected them and left everyone in shock.
I don't know. I'm coming out!
When the wife had had enough of paranormal encounters in her house, she had a meltdown and asked her husband to move to another place.
The camera, when are you gonna stop it?
The doctor said record everything.
I don't care what he said. I'm so over this house.
Just as she was making the demand, the bathroom door slammed shut by itself.
This house, and I'm over the filming and everything.
Seconds later, when it was opened, she was high up in the corner of the bathroom wall. Before he could react, the door slammed shut again. And this time, when it opened, she was inside the bathtub. Her expression said it all. Pale, shaken, and not herself. It looked like she had been possessed. Unfortunately, the video cuts there, leaving everyone clueless about the fate of the woman.
Oh shit. Oh, wait. Look at me.
Mirror demon. This group of friends were chatting when one of the girls looked in the mirror, but then something happened that scared her. Her face transformed and turned into something unrecognizable, almost demonic. Surprisingly, she didn't disclose it to her friends and went back to talking as if nothing had happened. It was like the mirror showed her the dark side of her, a side she never knew existed.
She makes like a creepy smile. Oh.
Freedom claimed. At a public deliverance event led by Apostle Catherine Crick, families had gathered with hope in their eyes to get rid of their demons. One girl, brought in by her relatives, stood out among the crowd. Her face was blank, but her body told another story. It looked like she was holding something in. As Catherine approached and began speaking, the girl suddenly reacted. A voice not her own burst out from inside.
What are you doing to her? I torment her a lot. She will not preach. She will not spread the gospel. Go now in Jesus' name.
It all lasted minutes, maybe more, but eventually the girl got free.
You must go. Thank you, Jesus. Wow. We're free. Praise God. Hallelujah.
Haunted store. A woman was working her shift at a store in Mexico when something terrifying happened. Out of nowhere, an unseen force grabbed her leg and started dragging her across the floor. She somehow managed to break free and ran straight to the manager, completely shaken. But when he checked, no one was there. Still, it wasn't the first time something like this happened. Locals had reported strange incidents before. Some believe there's a presence there, one that clearly doesn't want this store to stay open. Mysterious apartment. A man living in a small Tokyo apartment with his girlfriend had been facing strange events for a while, so he finally decided to start recording for proof. One night, they heard odd noises and rushed to the kitchen. Dishes were scattered everywhere, but things got weirder when right in front of them, cups and plates began to move on their own. They were watching it happen, completely stunned. While the girlfriend was recording, the camera suddenly caught the face of a woman, pale, eerie, and terrifying. It felt like she was the one behind everything. Many believe this is the spirit of a woman, possibly unaware she's no longer alive, and tied to a tragic past in that building. Scary encounter. Exploring an abandoned hospital in Saudi Arabia, a local vlogger expected a creepy vibe, but nothing too serious. At first, everything seemed normal, until one particular room changed that. A pale woman-like figure stood silently in the corner, but then her head twisted completely upside down. Her skin was ghostly, her eyes unnatural. It looked like a living nightmare. That was it. The vlogger didn't stick around to see more. He ran out and never returned. Ouija went wrong. Some games aren't meant to be played, and this one proved exactly why. These girls were wrapping up a Ouija board session when things took a dark turn. Just as they tried to close it, something resisted, and suddenly one of them seemed to get possessed, and they all tried to get her free. Thankfully, the moment didn't last long and she slowly returned to normal. But seriously, with how dangerous this game can be, why do people still mess with it? Mysterious figure. These friends were just outside an old, closed apartment building, casually practicing their catching skills. Everything felt normal, until one of them glanced up at a window. Standing there was a strange figure with pale skin, quietly watching them. It didn't look like a regular person. They called the apartment manager and went up together to check the locked room behind that window. But inside, there was nothing. The room was empty. So where did that creepy figure go? That's the part no one could answer. Unseen presence. Trying to follow a TikTok trend, these two sisters set a camera on the ceiling to get a proper view. But then, something strange happened. One of them felt a light tug on her hair.
Something just took my hand.
The moment she was telling it to her sister, same thing happened to the other sister. That's when the mood shifted. Both looked at each other, realizing an unseen presence seemed to be with them. Without wasting another second, they rushed out. What or who was in there with them? That part still remains a mystery.
I'm not joking, something just took my hair.
What do you mean?
I don't know.
I'm
coming out! I'm coming out!
Scary woman.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم.
Exploring an old, abandoned house, the man thought he was completely alone. The place was eerily quiet. As he walked through the dark rooms, something suddenly caught his eye and a face in the window. A woman staring directly at him with cold, unsettling eyes that looked almost witch-like. Before he could even react, she vanished. Shocked and confused, the man searched every corner of the house, but there was no sign of her. That's when he realized it was time to leave.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم.
Backseat horror. Driving through the quiet roads of Peru late at night, a tourist noticed a strange-looking car ahead. Nothing seemed off until he spotted the back seat. Sitting there was a terrifying woman with pale skin and glowing eyes, staring blankly ahead. Her face looked completely possessed, like something out of a dark ritual. It's unclear if the driver even knew she was there, or worse, if she was being taken somewhere against her will. One thing's certain. Whatever this was, it felt more like a nightmare than reality. Elisa Lam mystery. In 2013, 21-year-old Elisa Lam checked into the Cecil Hotel in Los Angeles. She was traveling alone and sharing her journey online like any normal tourist. But things took a strange turn. One night, security footage captured her inside the hotel elevator, pressing multiple buttons, peeking outside, stepping in and out like someone was chasing her, though no one was there. Her movements were strange and seemed unsettling. That became the last sighting of her before she was found in the water tank of the same hotel, a case that shook even the investigation officers. Some mysteries don't fade with time, they only get deeper. Headless waiter. A restaurant's hallway security camera captured something truly bizarre. What looked like a headless waiter calmly walking through, as if going to serve a table. The figure moved with purpose, just like real staff would. But here's the twist. None of the employees had seen anything strange that night. The footage was later shared online, where opinions split fast. Some viewers blamed a camera glitch, while others were convinced this was something that needed a proper investigation. Because if that wasn't a living person, then who or what was walking through that hallway? Fearless girl.
So for today's drink,
a simple TikTok drink promo took a wild turn when the curtain behind the girl suddenly moved, like something was hiding inside it. But instead of panicking, she surprised everyone. The girl walked straight over and punched the curtain without hesitation. After checking the room calmly and closing the window, she casually returned to finish her video. Once the clip was shared, opinions flooded in. Some said she took a big risk. Others praised her fearless reaction. Elevator mystery. A guy stepped in for a regular ride up, but on every floor, he noticed a dark, humanoid figure pressed against the screen. It didn't move, just stared floor after floor. Uneasy, he stopped the lift midway and checked outside, but saw no one. He got back in, hoping it was nothing. But when the elevator reached the next floor, that same figure appeared again. The doors slid open, and just like before, it vanished. Just like a ghost would. Blackout. A man was home alone when the power suddenly cut off. Thinking it was just a fuse issue, he went to check. But right there, in the dark, he saw a strange woman standing silently in front of him. Her movements were odd, twitchy, and almost unnatural. He panicked and tried to run, but things got worse. Before he could make it out, she appeared again, this time right behind him, and attacked. What she was, where she came from, no one knows. But they sure knows to stay away from the elevator the next time lights go out. Game gone wrong. A couple decided to play with a Ouija board, thinking it was just a harmless game. After nothing unusual happened, they went to sleep completely unaware that something had already started. In the middle of the night, their bedroom door creaked open. Curious, the man got up and heard strange noises coming from the basement. He went down slowly, when another door suddenly flew open down there. Terrified, he rushed back up only to see the cupboard swing open and lights flickering. All in one night, just because of one game. Somehow they made it through the night, but they never played that game again.
Oh my god!
Haunted house. A group of YouTubers visited an abandoned house known for one strange claim. The spirit of its former owner still lingered there. At first, it felt like just another haunted exploration, until a series of questions and answers started. But then, just as suddenly as it started, the spirit stopped responding and only answered inside the kitchen. Throughout their conversation, it made clear that it did not want them to be around, so they understood and left. Hidden watcher. Chris and Mick, camping near the abandoned St. Andrew's Church, were more focused on their adventure than the paranormal. After a night of eerie sounds and tense moments, they called it quits and camped outside. Days later, as they reviewed their footage, their viewers pointed out something chilling. A dark, shadow-like figure lurking behind a doorway. The figure had no clear shape, just a mass of darkness, almost like a silhouette, peering out at them. Chris and Mick were completely unaware of its presence. What they thought was just another creepy night might have been something much darker, watching them in silence. Worst nightmare. Security cameras at a house caught something that shocked viewers. A young woman is seen running, clearly terrified, while a tall, unsettling figure chases closely behind her. The figure moves in a strange way, unnatural and eerie. Many who've seen the footage believe it could be the legendary Siguanaba, a creature from Central American folklore said to appear as a woman with a horse-like face. The figure's long hair, disturbing posture, and relentless chase all match the descriptions. Was it really the Siguanaba, or just someone in disguise? Either way, that girl ran like she saw pure nightmare walking. Haunted wheelchair. This clip comes from a hospital in Indonesia, where something truly bizarre was caught on camera. A wheelchair placed outside the building suddenly began to move completely on its own. At first, it rolled a little, but then it kept going, steady and straight. A hospital staff member who saw it was left stunned. There were no people nearby, no wind, and no reason it should be moving. The way it rolled so controlled made it feel like an unseen presence was in charge. and to many, it looked exactly like a ghost taking a quiet ride. Grandparent's house. Returning to an old family home should bring back memories, not fear. But when this guy visited his grandparents' long-abandoned house, something instantly felt off. Near the stairs, he saw a shirt lift slightly into the air on its own.
No mames. Algo se está moviendo ahí arriba. No mames.
Then metal balls rolled across the floor without anyone touching them. From the storeroom, strange noises started echoing.
Miren aquí desde. No mames, no mames, no mames. No mames. No mames.
Like objects shifting on their own. By then, he knew he wasn't alone. And just before leaving, he caught a glimpse of a dark figure in that very room. That was enough. He bolted and never went back again.
¿Qué fue eso? No manches.
Bench shadow. While working a night shift at Tomás Adolfo Duco Stadium in Buenos Aires, security guard Raúl Arguello kept hearing a dressing room door slam open and shut. Curious and a bit concerned, he started recording on his phone to catch the cause. When he opened the door, no one was there, but his camera caught something else. A dark, ghostly figure quickly moved across the benches and vanished straight through the wall. It looked human, but something was clearly off. Raúl was stunned. Many think it's a prank or shadow glitch, but others believe he accidentally filmed something truly unexplainable. Silent warning. A couple was watching a horror movie late at night when something unexpected happened. One of the kitchen cupboards slowly opened on its own, and a mug dropped out. They were startled, but tried to brush it off. Days later, while the husband was home alone, another strange moment struck. Items suddenly fell from the shelf without anyone touching them. That's when it became clear. This wasn't random. It felt like something unseen was trying to send a message. A presence, not visible, but definitely there, seemed to want just one thing: for them to leave. Conjuring house. CCTV footage from the infamous Conjuring house captured something that left people stunned. A spirit box, sitting quietly on a table, suddenly flew off on its own. No one lives there anymore. The place has been locked for a long time. While strange events have been reported here before, this one went far beyond. Many who watched the video believe the house is deeply haunted, and after this, most agree it's best to stay far, far away. Dark entity. It was late at night when the hotel guest began feeling like something was off. She called the cop just to be safe. When the officer arrived, she stepped away to get him some water. But within seconds, she came back running, saying she saw something in the hallway. The cop's body cam caught it too. It was a shadowy figure with no clear shape that vanished almost instantly. Mysterious figure. These friends were just walking down the stairs, joking around, until one of them was suddenly pulled by an invisible force. At first, it looked like he'd tripped, but when his friend tried to help, it got worse. The boy was being dragged, like something had a grip on him. They didn't know what it was, but the camera did. The footage showed a dark, shapeless figure almost like thick smoke clinging to him, and just as quickly as it appeared, it vanished. The boys escaped that night, but one thing was clear: this wasn't leaving that place so easily. Unseen visitor. Late one night, a security officer was on front desk duty at a police station. Everything seemed normal until the CCTV showed him acting strange. He was talking, nodding, and even gesturing, as if someone was standing right in front of him. But the camera showed no one. When asked about it later, the officer calmly said he was speaking to an old lady who came in for help. But that lady seemed to only exist for him and was never seen by anyone else. Unseen figure. A hospital receptionist, late at night, suddenly stood up from his seat, grabbed a notepad, and began talking as though he was guiding someone. But there was no one in sight. The The security staff watching through CCTV were stunned. When they asked him about it, he said a lady had come by and he was showing her the way. To support his words, the door he mentioned actually opened, meaning someone had come through. But I don't know why only he could see her. Silent watcher. While exploring an abandoned church, a guy had no idea that someone might not like his presence. As he wandered deeper into the building, a slate moved nearby, but he didn't even notice. A little further in, things took a darker turn. He spotted a shadowy figure standing in the corner, watching him. The figure's body was completely covered, making it impossible to tell who or what it was. That was the moment he made the smartest decision to leave. Creepy little girl. In this clip, a young girl seems to be having a full-on conversation, but no one else is around. Her expressions, her gestures, they don't feel normal. At first, it looked like she might be rehearsing a play, but then something unexplainable happened. The girl suddenly vanished, as if she was never there to begin with. Later, it was revealed that the house had been abandoned for a long time. And after that detail came out, what seemed odd before turned into something much scarier. Unseen presence.
Holy shit.
It was her first night in the new apartment, and something already felt off. The silence wasn't peaceful. It was like someone else was there. While she was sitting and observing the room, something unexpected happened. A cupboard creaked open on its own, slowly, like an invisible force had pushed it. She checked everything carefully, looked around the entire place, but no one was there. This apartment had secrets, and maybe she wouldn't be staying here for long now. Ghostly presence. This woman suddenly felt that someone was watching her from the window. She looked around but saw nothing, so she started recording. At first, it seemed like there was nothing unusual, but when she saw the footage, she was shocked. A ghostly woman, pale and terrifying, was clearly visible in the window, watching her. Her instincts had been right all along, and now she's left wondering, what if that presence is still nearby, always watching? Half body running. This moment might just remind you of a horror movie scene. While the kid was casually playing with his puppy, something totally unexpected happened. From the nearby house, a strange figure suddenly darted out, but only its legs were visible. There was no sign of an upper body. Whether it was invisible or simply not there at all, no one knows. One thing's certain, this kid probably won't forget what he saw that day. Hallway watcher. Staying at a brother's apartment was supposed to be normal, but that night proved otherwise. She saw a dark figure appear quietly in the hallway, just standing there, almost hiding in plain sight, watching everything. It didn't look like a normal human, something mysterious. The girl was shocked, but quickly recorded it on her phone. Later, when she showed the video to her brother, he looked just as surprised as he had no idea anything like that ever happened in his place. But after this, he might have to leave with her too. Because seriously, who wants to stay somewhere with an unwanted guest silently lurking around? Mysterious presence. This video was shared online by an unknown source, but it's leaving viewers unsettled. In the video, a group of people sits around a table wearing strange hoodies and giving a total eerie vibe. Then suddenly, something shifts. Their reactions turn intense, as if they've just seen something beyond humans. Some believe they were part of a secret ritual. Others are convinced it was an Ouija session gone wrong that invited something dark and unseen into the room. Whatever the truth is, one thing's clear. That moment wasn't just strange. It felt like something stepped in. Unexpected movement. Cleaning up after closing time, a restaurant worker thought it would be just another quiet night, but things didn't stay normal for long. One of the chairs nearby suddenly slid on its own. At first, it seemed easy to ignore, but then it happened again. This time, the movement was more deliberate. That's when the worker realized something wasn't right. Without waiting to see more, the smart choice was made to leave immediately. What kind of presence was behind that chair? That part remains a mystery. Ghost conversation. A mechanic was cleaning a truck in the garage when he suddenly paused and walked over to a corner, talking to someone like a friend. The owner, watching through the CCTV, was confused. There was no one there. He quickly called the mechanic and asked, "Who were you talking to?" The mechanic casually replied, "It was the neighbor." But the same neighbor had passed away just the day before in a tragic accident. The owner told him to come inside right away, as he too had felt that something wasn't right. Dark web dolls. A Japanese woman had ordered strange dolls from the dark web and was calmly introducing them on camera. Now, if you order something from the dark web and it doesn't bring anything unusual with it, that's actually hard to believe. Suddenly, the dolls began to move. They started spinning slowly on their own. There were no wires and no one near them. Panic set in. She quickly ended the video, clearly shaken. But the question remains, what exactly came attached with those dolls? Spooky event. Recently, a strange event was held at a City Hall museum, open only to people who had experienced paranormal activity. But there was a twist. They were asked to bring the object connected to their experience with something paranormal, be it a toy, a household item, or anything else. Surprisingly, a lot of people showed up, each with their own bizarre story and item in hand. From creepy dolls to haunted cards, the event was filled with an odd energy. And honestly, just looking at some of those objects, it felt like something might still be wrong with them. Strange pull. A mysterious clip shared online shows a man about to step off the curb when something completely unexpected happens. Out of nowhere, he appears to be dragged across the road by an unseen force, as if pulled by something beyond human. The strange movement left viewers shocked, with opinions split. Some believed it could be the work of a superhuman with telekinetic powers, while others were convinced a ghostly presence was involved. Apartment 23. A mother and daughter rushed back to their apartment after spotting a strange person. While checking their ring footage later, the mom noticed something far creepier. Apartment 23's door swung open on its own and stayed that way for a while. Days later, with property management's help, she entered the abandoned unit and was shocked to find a pile of kids' shoes.
What is that?
One pair belonged to her daughter.
Those boots are my daughter's.
No one had lived there in years. Suspecting someone had been sneaking in and stealing shoes, she set a trap. But on the third night, a boot moved by itself, and a neighbor reported hearing baby cries from that room. That boot was later thrown away, and since then, nothing else has been posted. Scary ritual. It was supposed to be just a quicker way home through the woods for this man, thinking he'd save time. But something strange caught his eye. A group of people standing near the roadside, all dressed in white. They moved slowly in a circle around lit candles, clearly performing some kind of ritual. That was the moment he should have turned back. But he didn't. As he got closer, their attention shifted, and suddenly, they attacked him. Somehow, he managed to escape, but after what he saw that night, he'll never risk that path again. Cursed on field. During a rugby match, one of the players suddenly collapsed, clearly in intense pain. No one around could understand what was happening or what caused it. But then, someone in the audience noticed a woman holding a small doll, one that looked exactly like the injured player. She appeared to be performing some sort of spell on it, completely focused. At that moment, it all made sense. Something dark was going on, and it seemed this mysterious woman was the reason behind his sudden pain. Whatever she was doing, it wasn't just eerie, it was cruel. Room 209. Guests had reported screams coming from room 209 of a Colorado hotel. A staff member, in contact with others through wireless radio, went to check it out. The screaming didn't stop, even as he reached the door. Now here's a twist. No one was supposed to be in there and still loud screaming. But the moment he stepped in, guys, you won't believe a ghostly figure can be clearly seen coming out of that room. Though the screams ended that day. But the mystery, that was never solved. And now, let's move on to the subscriber's pick. Now, this video is something truly unsettling. A woman appears at the front door of a house, caught clearly on the door camera. At first, everything seems normal, until her facial features begin to change slowly. Her eyes darken, her expression shifts, and for a brief moment, it doesn't even look like a woman anymore. It almost looks like a man's face for a few seconds, before everything shifts back to normal again. No one has any idea who she was. The homeowners said when they opened the door, no one was outside. All they had was this strange footage, and a mystery no one has solved since.